Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watched this video. I hope you enjoy it. And today we talk about the Monster Squad. I just found out that there was a 1970s TV show called Monster Squad, but this show doesn't have this movie doesn't have anything to do with that TV show. And that one, it's monsters trying to redeem themselves. And the Monster Squad, these monsters are not trying to redeem themselves whatsoever. But you do have all the classic monsters in this movie. You have Wolfman, you have Frankenstein, you have the Mummy, you have the creature from the Black Lagoon, I believe. Is that how you call it? Or the Black Lagoon, right? And Frankenstein and Dracula. And Dracula is kind of like the leader of the monsters. These monsters seem like they're not really on board of hurting humans, and like Dracula is kind of forcing them to do so. But the Monster Squad is like a club of these friends. They got their own little clubhouse. I always wanted to have a clubhouse when I was a kid, but they got their little clubhouse, boys only. For He-Man, what was the Rascals for He-Man boys? Or anyways, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, though. Little Rascals that had that clubhouse for He-Man boys only or something like that. Can't really remember the title, but no girls were allowed. It's kind of like how this is. You got some boys about middle school age. You know, they got all these theories about monsters, and they kind of stumble upon this anniversary. Like every 100 years, these monsters come from another dimension and try to take over the world. They're trying to get this medallion thing that if they destroy the medallion on a certain night, the monsters can live on Earth forever and rule the world, I guess you can say. Basically, that's the premise, and you got these boys who are out there to stop them. They stumble upon this mystery, and, like I said, stumble upon them. For a kid's show, it does touch on some heavy topics here, such as family, parents who are heading towards divorce. Our main boy here, his parents are not really getting along very well. They're always fighting, so they're on the verge of getting divorced. So you kind of got that relationship between kids and parents who are not on the best of terms. You got a little bit of father-son bonding, and a little bit of motherly bonding as well. Check out my notes here. So you do also kind of got how these parents, even though they're fighting each other, they do have a healthy relationship with their children. And some of the parents aren't very good people. One parent's kind of tired of his little boy telling him there's always a monster in his room. And, there happens to be a monster in the room, which you can see behind me with the mummy. But he doesn't believe him whatsoever. So, if you're a parent and they say you got monsters in the room, maybe you want to check it out a little bit. Maybe there is a mummy in the closet. The show also kind of hits upon, life of teenage boys at this time period. Of kids and how they hung out. We used to actually hang out together. Maybe not so much in houses. I did have a friend or two that did have a clubhouse. I was envious. But, you did have groups of friends that did hung out and did stuff together. My group of friends, we were more like jocks. Whatever season it was, that's what sports we would play. Football, baseball, basketball. Those are the big three things we did and hang out. I'm not going to criticize. I'm going to say, well, now these generations, people nowadays, they don't. These kids today, they don't hang out or anything, which is maybe a lie, because now, you got video games. You could talk to your friends over playing video games, so you still can hang out with your buddies, but, maybe they don't really do so much physical stuff, especially maybe for the city kids who don't really have, farmland and a lot of area to hang out. If I lived in an inner city, I probably would rather have my kid hanging out at my house than out there, with the drugs and stuff. Anyways, I guess I shouldn't stereotype inner cities. Just my personal stuff going on. The costumes in this movie, enough about world stuff. Costumes in this movie, I think they're very well done. The creature from the Black Lagoon looks pretty good, especially for that time period. The Wolfman has a pretty good, convincing transformation. His final transformation looks kind of goofy, but as he's transforming, it's pretty good. I think all the characters of the monsters I do kind of like the Wolfman because I think he kind of stays in character with the previous Wolfman. Like, he doesn't really want to turn into a werewolf. He's always fighting it at this movie. He's always trying to get the cops to put him in jail, and they all think he's cuckoo, so they won't do it until he's out there causing devastation. They got the whole important question that kids always have is, if you blew up the Wolfman, what would happen to him? Because you need a silver bullet to kill a werewolf. So you get that question answer in this as the Wolfman gets blown up into pieces and bits all over the place. I do like the idea, though, to send these monsters back in time, back to the other dimension forever. You have to have a virgin read out of the book. Virgins and monsters go hand in hand usually, right? So they think they have this virgin. She says she's a virgin. She reads the book, and she's not a virgin. And they said, well, I did it one time with so-and-so, and that don't count. I'm sorry. I bet there's a lot of people out there who believe that stuff, I'm still a virgin because I didn't really, I didn't really like it. Didn't really like so-and-so anymore who I did it with. So I'm still a virgin or whatever. That's not how it works. So you got reality in this one. Overall, when I wrote in my notes, like, kids movie, 80s kids movie, question mark. I don't know if this would pass as a kids movie in today's society. 80s was like a different monster, no pun intended. You got a lot of movies in the 80s that were intended for kids that would be like for adults now. And this one, I would say this is more for teenagers, 13 to 17-year-olds. It can be a little scary, especially with the werewolf transformation. So I wouldn't show it to like younger, like 6 and under for sure. I wouldn't show it to them. But 13 to 17, middle school age. I think middle schoolers would still love this. I loved it as a child. It's been about 35 some years, maybe close to 40 years. Now, it's not 40 years old yet. So about 35 years since I've seen this movie, about 90, around 1990 has been the first and only time I saw it until recently. I enjoyed it, and I was about that age. I was about middle school age at that time period. As an adult, I would recommend it with caution. It's just, I don't know. Story's kind of lacking. Some of the kids aren't really good actors, The plot is, it's pretty good. It holds, I guess. It's all right. So I would recommend it with caution. If you're somebody who loves like the original monsters, the classic monsters, I would think you would enjoy this one. I think they got their personalities right. I think they held true to how they were originally written. So for that instance, I think it'll be worth your watch. But if you already seen the Monster Squad, do you like it? Well, you don't like it. Did you like it as a kid? Have you seen it? If you did like it as a kid, have you seen it as an adult? Do you still like it as an adult? I dug it. If I was my 13-year-old self, I would say, oh, this is a highly recommended movie. As my 40-something-old self now, say recommend with caution. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Leave some comments below. Interested in hearing your thoughts. Not hearing, but reading your thoughts about this. And hopefully you'll check out another video some other time. Have a great day. Bye.